No left, no right, no conservative, no liberal, just common sense. How's that sound? Just a person with common sense. No Christian, no pagan, no Muslim, no Jew, no Hindu, no Buddhist, no Jain, no Sikh. Just a human being who is willing to be responsible for his own actions. A human being always seeking the truth and running into that truth and holding on to that truth even if it shakes the very foundation of his life or her life. Just a human being with common sense. And that is what we are all called to be on this earth now. Whether we are part of some group or we follow a certain sect or certain religion or have political belief systems, it doesn't matter. Because the fact that we are individuals and we're working and living in the world as these individuals who are powerful in their thoughts and processes, and the fact that we are seeking the truth overrides all of those labels. Anything that they tell us and anything that they teach us has to be looked at and compared and filtered through who we are, what we believe, and what we know to be true. And so we work together in order to learn the truth, to speak the truth, to know what's going on, and to always seek the truth over the deceptions that can even make us feel comfortable a lot of times. If we don't do this, we're going to perish. I don't mean the whole world is going to perish. The world always lasts. I don't mean that global warming is going to wipe out everything. Yes, maybe most of the humans. Or perhaps it will cut down the population of the human beings so far that they won't be able to damage the earth anymore. It has not been so long that this generation of people have lived and worked in the world, and as long as we have been here for the last 5,000 or 6,000 years, we have learned to murder, to kill, to create weapons of mass destruction, to rape, to burn, to pillage, to turn religions that spoke of love and grace and peace into religions that became exclusive and said that it was all right to kill people who were not part of our group so we could steal their goods. This experiment, this human experiment here on earth, has been a great failure sometimes. Yes, we have done great things. We have created art, music, dance, have talked about great ideas and passed on all kinds of intellectual abilities, and even mystics have taught us how to expand ourselves and our understanding of the world. But as a whole, as a collective, when we look at these various cities and states and countries, we find that as a collective, all of the resources we have are constantly going to either fight wars, kill, steal, and take from other countries, or to fill our own countries with police officers who will rape, kill, and burn and steal in order to keep an oppressive system in place. We got to change. In order to change, we must die. What do I mean, die? We have to die to the individual self that is being controlled by the collective self. The collective self I speak of is the community, the world that we're socialized into, the world that gave us all kinds of thoughts and ideas about the way things are, the world that keeps pushing us to strive to be better and better. And this being better and better does not mean giving more, or loving more, or taking care of people. It means being able to take more, to even steal other people's creations if necessary, so that we can gather the money and the profit to be free ourselves while imprisoning everyone else. It means supporting a top-down system where very few have all of the resources and the others become beggars or enslave themselves economically just to have a little bit. In our country, it means not only being quiet and going to work in order to have a good living. No, it means joining in on the oppression of others. Being willing to push down people, to destroy our own neighbors and our country, to cause famine, death, plagues, and poverty by blocking countries who have all kinds of resources, like Venezuela, like Cuba, and Honduras, blocking them from being able to have a life, to be able to fulfill the needs of their people. And the more we are willing to hate, to oppress, and steal without any feeling, without any sympathy, like a controlled, psychotic person, the higher we move on this pyramid of oppression. So when I talk about the death of the self, I am not talking about the internal part, the divine spark, the Atman, or the mind that is aligned with that. No, I am talking about the ego that is created and sustained by a sick system, and that is there for that sick system. We need to be able to kill that part of the self. That part of ourself has to die so that the real self will rise up, so that we'll be free. The whole story about death and resurrection, about hanging on the cross and descending into the underworld and then rising back up, is about what has to happen to our ego. We must hang that part of ourselves that has been born of violent humanity on the cross and crucify it. As we go deep down into the subconscious, into the shadow mind, into our resources, we go down and we gather all that is loving, all that is kind, and all that is just. And we reform an ego that is healthy, loving, and kind, and then it transcends upwards until we return to our original minds, our original selves. And we have made the journey. We have been resurrected as something wonderful, beautiful, and great. And like the great teacher Jesus, who was said to come back to the earth for 40 days, which during that time, 40 was a time of judgment, we too do that. Having transcended the foolishness, the hatred, and the violence of the system, we come back as our original selves, our divine beings. And we work here on earth, having completed the cycle that we wanted to complete when we entered into this world. And that is what spirituality is all about. And that is what social justice is all about. It's a social justice that comes from a sense of being. It comes from being a person who loves God, the world, the universe, and everything. It comes from the strength and power of compassion that exists in the real heart of the human being who entered into this time and space from the great beyond in order to redeem their family, their community, and the world by doing the works that are necessary to heal it, to erase the past violent behavior and hatred and sickness, to cleanse this river of life so that all can be free. This is the gathering of the chosen, which we have written about in our book. You can see more about that down below. And for those of you who are the chosen, it's good to be with you again. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell so you can get any messages from us as we drop new videos. Hit the like sign and make some comments so that we will know the issues we need to address next time. It is written, you see, we shall know the truth and the truth will set us free. Well, it's time for all of us to know the truth, isn't it? Namaste, folks. Have a great week. We'll be dropping a few videos. Visit our website, find some free stuff there, and have a lot of fun.